Hey everybody, welcome to episode 10 of Chord Expansion. In today's episode we're going to be discussing major 7 sharp 5 chords, and these are chords that often have a lot of confusion surrounding them. I get a lot of questions on how to build these voicings and also how to solo over them, and that's something I can definitely relate to. In my early jazz days, I remember a lot of instances where I would be comping for somebody or I would be soloing, and I would encounter a major 7 sharp 5 chord, and I would pretty much have no idea what to do. So hopefully this can clear up some of that. So to start out, what a major 7 sharp 5 chord is in the formula, it is 1, 3, sharp 5, 7. So an easy way to get a sound for that in your ear is take this G major 7 chord, right, on the top 4 strings, 5, 4, 3, 2. Right, that's 1, 3, 5, 7. Take the D note on the 2nd string, which is our 5th, and raise it a fret to the 4th fret. Now it's sharp 5. Now we have 1, 3, sharp 5, 7. Right? It's a very dark, ominous sound, but there are ways to utilize these chords, a variety of different ways. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take the scale that is most commonly associated with major 7 sharp 5 chords. We're going to run the scale all the way up on the 1st string, and then we're going to harmonize each note of the scale with chord voicings on the top 4 strings. So the scale that we're going to do today, there's a variety of different scales that can work over a major 7 sharp 5 chord, but the one that I'm going to start out with is called Lydian Augmented, and that is the 3rd mode of the melodic minor scale. So intervallically, if we're going to do it in the key of G, it would be this. It would be 1, G, 2 would be A, major 3rd, B, sharp 4, C sharp, sharp 5, which is D sharp, natural 6, E, major 7, F sharp, and then the 1 again, G. So it's interesting because it has a sharp 5 and a natural 6. So this is a great scale that you can use if you want to play a little bit more outside over a major chord. Instead of doing, regular Lydian, sharp to 5, make it Lydian Augmented. So now we're going to harmonize each note of the scale going up on the 1st string. And as always, if you would like PDFs of everything that we go over today with an additional 16 voicings not covered in the video, you can head over to patreon.com/MikeAudetteMusic. So the root is a little bit tricky because if we want to include the major 7, there's only 2 spots we can do it, right here. Right, get that half step, or we can do it down here, and we get that minor 9 interval. So these might be a little dissonant for some people's ears. I don't mind them. This first one, probably the most common one if you want to do the G on top, would be this. So this is just a straight major 7 sharp 5, right? It's the major 7, the 3rd, the sharp 5, and then the G on top, the root. It's basically just this voicing we did before, but you reverse the note on the 1st string and the note on the 4th string. Just drop this and then raise this, right? Cool movement between those. Okay, I'll give you one more for the root as well. If you like more intervallic voicings, this one's nice. So that's a G major 9 sharp 5. So I have actually the 9 on the bottom. I have this A. My pinky goes on the sharp 5, ring on the major 7, pointer on the root. So as you can see, I'm combining other notes that line up in that Lydian Augmented scale. So I'm not just limiting myself to 1, 3, sharp 5, 7. If there's a voicing where I can include a color tone, I'll do it as long as I'm kind of keeping the general essence of the chord. So in each of these voicings, I'm deliberately including basically the major 7 and the sharp 5, and I try to get the 3rd if I can, but if the 3rd has to come out, to me it's not the end of the world, right? It still has that eerie sound with the sharp 5 and the major 7. So now the next one, we're going to do the 9 on top. So one thing we can do, we can just take this voicing we started out with and just raise the G on the 1st string to the A, and we get this. So you call that G major 9 sharp 5. Another one we can do is we can go up here. We can do root, sharp 5, 7, and then do the 9 on here. So bar it. All right. So now if we want to do the 3rd on top, the B, probably the most common one would be this. I love this one. I use this one a lot. Just a straight major 7 sharp 5 root, sharp 5, major 7, 3rd. Now another one we can do that I really like is, like I was saying before, how we have the sharp 5 and the natural 6. If I ever can in a voicing, I like to see if I can combine the sharp 5 and the natural 6 because it gives us this really kind of eerie sounding half step that I love. So what I would do here, take the F sharp off and now actually bar it. So now we're getting D sharp and E, right? That half step, the sharp 5 and the 6, and then the 3 on top. That one's really cool. I guess you would call that G major 6 sharp 5. Wouldn't say major 7, right? Because there's no 7, so I guess just major 6. So we have 2 for that. All right, now we're going to do the sharp 11 on top, the C sharp. So these can get interesting, especially when you combine the sharp 5 and the sharp 11. So probably the most common one would be this. So that's root, sharp 5, 7, sharp 11. All right, if you want more of an intervallic one, you can do this. So this is sharp 11 on top, root, major 7, sharp 5. Nice dissonant one. Like that against G. Great chord to like end a song on if you want to end on like a really kind of out there chord. So now the next one we'll do the sharp 5 on top. So the most common one would be this. This is just a straight G major 7 sharp 5 inversion. Right, 3rd, 7, root, sharp 5. Now here's another one where we can combine the sharp 5 and the natural 6, but I'm actually doing the 6 on the bottom. I love this one. So on its own, it doesn't even sound weird, but when you put a G in the bottom, you can hear it in its context. So I'm putting my pinky on E on the 4th string, pointer finger on F sharp, middle finger on B, and then pointer finger on D sharp. So I'm barring the pointer. Right here against that G, that's wild. I love that major 7 between the regular 6 and the sharp 5. Okay, now we have the regular 6. This one gets a little tricky too because we're deliberately including the sharp 5 and the major 7 if we can. So some of these voicings are a little bit of a stretch, but I like this one. So that one, you would call that, I guess, G major 13 sharp 5. I guess you would call it major 13 because we have the major 7. Another one we can do, we actually do this. I like this. The bottom, I'm just doing an augmented B, D sharp, G, and then I stretch my pinky up to the E. So I have that another minor 9 interval between the sharp 5 and the natural 6. Okay, and now the last interval that we'll cover is the major 7 up on top. So the most common one would be this. Right, D sharp, G, B, F sharp. So sharp 5, root, 3rd, major 7. And then another one I like is just taking this one and lowering the 3rd down to the 2nd. So you get a G major 9 sharp 5. So that's D sharp, G, A, F sharp. And I have that 9 right there. So sharp 5, root, 9, major 7. So a lot of these chords, just experiment with that, like these little moving inner parts that you can do, right? All I did was change the 3 to the 9. Right there, I did a little inner moving too, right? I lowered the major 7 down to the natural 6. Okay, so to quickly review every voicing we did, starting with the root, we have 9, 3rd, sharp 11, sharp 5, 6, major 7. All right, so there's just such a wide variety of rich, dark, ominous sounds that you can get out of this scale. And it's something that's well worth knowing because, like I said, there are plenty of times in jazz songs and even in non-jazz songs where you will encounter chord voicings like these and tonalities like these. So hopefully this cleared up a little bit of the confusion if you had any surrounding major 7 sharp 5 chords. So that's our episode for this week. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. And like I said, if you would like to check out all of the additional content not covered in the video, as well as all of the previous episodes up to this point, you can check out patreon.com/MikeGaudetteMusic. That's our episode for this week. I will see you at the next episode. Take care.